Do you like reading in tombs, Mitch?
Yeah, I do enjoy a good tomb raid. I enjoy Indiana Jonesing some tombs. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, would you like Shadows, Jordan?
I'm always in the shadows, always in the dark.
What about Shadows of the Tomb Raider, which is what we're taking a look at, although, more accurately, you had a look at, because I really just watched you play it. So, what do you think about this new Tomb Raider experience?
A new Tomb Raider came out a little while ago called Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the third one in a reboot series of the
Yeah, I
Lara
already said it's
Croft.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider. The Shadow of the Tomb Raider, did you know that?
So, quick thoughts of the game. I've been looking forward to it after finishing off the last Rise of the Tomb Raider. A lot of
Yeah.
people didn't seem to like the story for some reason, but I thought it was catchy and interesting, and it was the second Tomb Raider game that I actually finished. So this one came out, and it pretty much starts a little bit after that one. Starts off, with your basic tutorial, like you're walking around a city, learning all your stuff, learning some new stuff like hiding in bushes, that sort of thing. But then after you pass the intro world, you go into the main place. I think it's in Peru, from the jungles of Peru, and then that's where it really starts to feel like the original one had the Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Do you like what you've played so far?
Oh,
Are you more excited to play more of it?
I've definitely enjoyed what I've played so far. I am looking forward to playing more of it. I just haven't yet.
Yeah, I am looking forward to playing it myself. Haven't had time. Watched you play the intro twice because their recording screwed up, but that's irrelevant. The thing I'm interested in is that does this feel any different to Rise of the Tomb Raider, because it is developed by Eidos primarily instead of Crystal Dynamics, who are now more a support role. So I think you're working on an Avengers game.
I've always had a little bit of trouble with the controls of Lara, but it feels exactly the same to the previous game, except you have a few extra features, like rappelling down on a rope or hiding in bushes and walls and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But does the grappling feel good? I know they added it to Uncharted 4, which I know you haven't played.
I haven't played Uncharted 4, but swinging on vines in Uncharted 1, it felt just like that.
In this one, you toss the rope, don't you? Or you connect it, then you go down it, then you can swing.
Yeah, so you're already hooked onto the wall with your pickaxe climby thingies that I forget the name of.
Pickaxey, climby things,
Yep.
good for murder.
And then you rappel down. And then when you're down far enough, you can swing across and let go. Or like me, you can stuff it up a few times before you get it right.
As I say, it's not like an adventure game if you don't fall off something like an idiot.
Oh, definitely.
Like you swung the wrong way, or you just fell off the edge, which that's what you do a couple times.
And it's even harder now if you choose to go on the hard difficulty, because I don't know the name of what they call it is, but your hidden viewpoints to work out where stuff is.
They fired the hidden paint guy in your game.
Yes.
Because there wasn't the white stuff all over the walls, which I'm assuming is paint.
Yes, pretty much he was not promoted on that difficulty, and you have to work your own way around. Which I think, just having those options to take out visible pathways or what you're meant to do in puzzles makes it more challenging if you want, instead of just having a handheld. Like, this is what you got to do this, then you're done.
I think it is cool that you can actually make it the way you want it. If you if you like knowing exactly where to go and hate puzzles, you can put them on easy, it'll tell you what to do, and you can have the combat as hard as you like. Or if you hate combat and really like the puzzles and exploration, you can make that harder. So it's like, games should really do what this game did.
It's essentially trying to take a new take on difficulty. Instead of just setting the difficulty for you, you get to customize it to how you want to play. And if you're one of those people that are really hardcore with games, you can play on the hardcore difficulty. I think it's called very hard or something, where if you die, you go back to the last campfire.
Wasn't one with the jungle?
One with the
that
jungle.
The one high?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure one with the jungle's hard, and then there was one that was higher than that. Anyway, which I would recommend if you're going to do that, do it on your second run through. Because if you haven't got any ledges and you fall off, back to the beginning you go.
Anything else to add about the gameplay? How does it feel like to play it? Does it play any different gameplay-wise? Like the bow and arrow, the guns, do they feel any different?
It feels exactly the same. Like, I've literally just taken out the disc of Rise of the Tomb Raider, put Shadow in, and it's the extra, the next chapter to the game. There's no jarring controls where this doesn't make sense now for some reason. You're pretty much straight back into the swing of it.
She hasn't got a new suit while in cryo, for example.
She does have new skins, though, if you have played the previous ones. Or even Tomb Raider 2 with the polygon skin.
It is cool that you have these really old skins that really like look jarring. It's just with costumes. It's just, do you want to ruin the game for yourself when you first run? Pick the weird skins, or if you want some weird immersion-breaking moments, like we had when she, after fighting a couple of
during
Jaguars.
the first playthrough, while looking through the costumes, I accidentally left a costume on, and we went into a cutscene where there's Jonah, like one of the companions, like rubbing her back. She's just being clawed by a Jaguar.
Yeah, like cleaning up the blood and stuff.
And
like.
the skin, because it was a skin, she still had all her clothes on, and it was like he was just putting his hand on his back, like patting her. There. That'll be fine. Oh, my thing's covered in blood
red
now.
appeared on it. It was really, really weird. But like, to talk about that Jaguar fight, what do you think about it? Because it's like, I know the whole animal thing is a big part of not Rise of the Tomb Raider, but Tomb Raider. The modern Tomb Raider franchise is all about getting munched on and hurt by animals.
Animals has always been a big thing, and that they haven't really had Jaguars yet. They've had wolves and like leopards, I think,
and a bear. Rise of the Tomb
things.
Raider had a bear.
I'm fairly sure there's bears in this too.
And it's got eels. Eels look very aggressive, which is kind of weird. Like, I'm pretty sure real eels will just chill on their own. I don't think they're gonna go, oh shit, a human fell in my water, let's go eat her face.
Yeah, with the Jaguar fight, there was like 2 of them at the beginning of the game, where you fight one at a time, and it did actually feel pretty intense because they run back into the bush and you don't know where they're going to come from, like what you normally expect if you were out in the forest fighting a Jaguar for your life.
I can't imagine that being a very fun thing, and looking at the gameplay, they're pretty fierce.
Yeah, I'm hoping there's going to be a lot more like that further in the game, and hopefully seeing that there's been eels attacking you underwater, that there'll be more water combat as well. But that's to be seen.
Yeah, was there really any underwater combat? Because Rise of the Tomb Raider mostly took place in a snowy, almost Russian kind of place, which I can't say going underwater there would have been the smartest idea.
No, you would have frozen. Well, you could go underwater, but it was like, you wouldn't want to go underwater.
Oh, there was the bit at the start with all Syria, or wherever it was. Like, Middle Eastern setting with all the water and stuff. But, yeah, this game looks like it's got more water stuff, and there's a big moment with the whole water, but I don't know if you want to talk more about the story.
I was just going to say quickly, with the rebooted 3 games, there hasn't really been much underwater action, whereas the original ones, that had that off the bat where you're fighting crocodiles and that sort of thing. So hopefully that'll come back. When it comes to water as well with the story, one big thing, it doesn't spoil anything. This is pretty much at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, this is really early. It's been on the trailers as well. So
you've gone into this tomb and you've taken this dagger, and then apparently you've caused all these apocalypses to begin. And the first one,
have caused the sun to die, which has been somehow had its lifespan tied to a little dagger on Earth.
The dagger's important. It's important to the sun.
I kind of like the idea of like that Lara's actually the one who, like, because Trinity's involved, but it's not Trinity who set this in motion. It was Lara not paying attention to, oh, look, a shiny thing, let's take it. Like, if any of us were doing anything of that sort of thing, we would probably do the same thing. It's like, shiny dagger, probably worth a fair bit.
The interesting thing with the beginning compared to the last recent 2 was it's been more of you're trying to fix a mistake that you've made by taking this to prevent something from happening, but by doing that action of trying to prevent, you're causing the following apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
Starting with a giant tsunami, killing an entire village. Pretty grim.
Probably more people than that. Tsunamis do a lot of damage.
Well, you do see a kid hanging from the ledge that you basically just killed as they fall into the water.
Allegedly. We don't know if Lara's caused this, which is a major part of another character in the stories, which is her companion, Jonah, who hangs around a bit more in this game.
He's changed facial personalities throughout the games. He seems to always like look a little bit different, but you know him as the same big old guy that tags along with you. Except this one, he's tagging along a lot more, especially at the beginning with puzzles and stuff.
Yeah, they really want that Uncharted style thing going on here a little bit.
One last thing we should talk about is that it looks as though that this game is going to be a lot more tomb focused. So at the beginning of the game, you pretty much already had options to go into 2 tombs to the side instead of it being less tomby, more explory.
More raidery.
Raidery, yep. And to me, even though they were still short, like there was one that you had to climb up this thing that kept going up and dodge like spikes in grounds or spikes on the wall, that sort of thing, it already felt longer than what we've seen in the previous 2 games, which is good because if they're the first ones, you're expecting the other ones to get better.
Yeah, as you keep doing them, like, I'm assuming you did all the tombs in Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Oh, definitely, I did.
Yeah, I did them as well. For the most part, they were really well made, but they were very, like, as you said, it's just like a one and done puzzle.
Essentially,
there was
you
really
go in,
not
you
too
work
much
out
else
one
to it.
thing, and you're done.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine, but it was just a bit short, so these are longer, which is, as you're saying, which is a good thing. Do they do anything that you haven't seen before?
One downside that I've seen so far is even if you're on hard mode where you've turned off your paint, turned off your sensor to see stuff, if you're just walking along and there's a trap, before, even if you're not paying attention to like a rope in the middle of you, a big Y or something will come up on the screen to tell you there's a trap here, you better stop, instead of you hitting the trap and then going through it.
Yeah, true, which, like, for a trap, it should be like, holy shit, I just stood on a trap and I'm dead.
To be fair, I did have that with the spikes on the ground, but the ones in the walls, it was pretty obvious not to get stuck by it.
Yeah, but I mean, we've seen in Indiana Jones, they fall for the ones on the floor all the time. Anything else to add about this game, Jordan?
I'm just looking forward to play more of it and see where the story leads.
Would you recommend it from what you've played so far?
Definitely. Even if you haven't played the previous 2 before this, you don't really need to play them to know what's happening.
Do you think so far this is better than the previous 2 entries in this trilogy?
That's hard to say. Definitely the first one. Second one, so far it's on par with it.
Yeah, like, I'm a big fan of Rise of the Tomb Raider. I haven't played this yet. I am looking forward to playing it. From everything I've seen, the intro twice, now I have to do the intro again myself. Can't say I'm too enthused to do that, but yeah, it does seem cool. If you enjoyed this lookout of Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the first AAA game under this series, because before we'd pretty much done exclusively Metroidvanias, sort of our choice, but like, that was all that was coming out, and yeah, so if you want to see more of it, you can do the YouTube thing of liking and subscribing, or not, it's up to you. We'd appreciate it if you did do that. Or you can check us out at optionalextra.net, and we have a podcast on a lot of podcasting services. Hopefully we'll see you again, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.
He wants to alter the course of humanity.